Data types are classified into two categories, guys. One is called as an primitive data type. Second one is called as an reference data type. Observe. We have two types of data types. One is called primitive, another one is called what, guys? Reference data types. Remember, guys, we have two types of data types. One is called as an primitive data type. Second one is called reference data types. Your data types is decided by using your data. What type of data you are using in your program? What type of data you are using in your program is decided by your data type, guys. What type of data you are going to use in your program is decided by your data type, guys. These are classified into. So these are classified into how many types? Two types. Primitive data type. Second one is called reference data type. First one is what? Primitive data type. Second one is what? Reference data type. Under primitive data type, observe, guys, we have different categories, guys. What are there under primitive data type? In the sense, we have byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, boolean. Guys, total how many, guys? Guys, total how many? How many data types? Total how many data types? Fine, good. Total 8 data types are available, right? These 8 data types are called as an, okay, these 8 data types are called as in what? Primitive data types. Remember, these 8 data types are called as in what? Primitive data types, guys. Observe, these 8 types are called as what? Your primitive data types. Your data types are classified into two types, majorly two types. One is called as a primitive data type. Second one is called as a reference data types. So what is the difference between primitive and reference? That also I will explain just a minute, guys. Guys, for example, I said I want to store age of a student. Guys, age in the sense for one person, for example, if I ask you what is your age, how many answers you are giving, guys? How many values you are saying? Only one value or multiple values we have? If I ask now, how many values you are giving? Only one value or multiple values? Sir, you are asking now, that's why I will say my actual age, sir. If someone is asking, I will say another answer, sir. So I have 2-3 ages are available, sir. No, right? Age means how many ages we have? Only one value. Fine, good. So whenever I'm asking what is your age, whenever I'm asking, so what is your age, you always gives us, so 26 years or 25 or 20, only one value. Good. Guys, if I ask what is your gender, guys, what is your gender? If I ask what is your gender, how many answers you are going to give you, guys? Is for one user, how many answers you are going to give? One or two values? One or two values. Sir, up to 10th class male, sir. Okay. Intermediate female, sir. Now degree, not a decide, sir. No, right? Only one value. Either male or female, only one answer you are giving, right? Either male or female or transgender. Any one answer you are going to give you, right? Only one value. Means either male or female, only one answer we are going to give you, right? Means values how many? Only one value. Either male or female at a time, only we are going to store only one value of transgender. Very good. Now, I asked that what is your subject marks, your 10th class marks, not total marks, subject marks, SSC marks. What is your SSC marks, not total marks, subject wise marks? SSC subject wise marks I'm asking, guys. SSC subject wise marks I'm asking. Sir, my first subject 90 sir, 99 sir, 95 sir, 98 sir, 99 sir. Okay, total 6 subjects, right? 3, 4, 5 and 97. This is my SSC subject marks, sir. Now observe guys, here one value or more than one value. Check it here. One value or more than one value? More than one value. Fine, good. I'm asking, what is your name? I'm asking, what is your name? Whenever I'm asking name, what do you say? Sir, my name is Venkat. One character or multiple character? One character or multiple character? Venkat is one character or multiple character? Yes. It is multiple character. V is one character. E is one character. N, K, A, T. Each and everything is as an individual characters, right? Multiple characters are available. Multiple characters are available. I ask phone number. Guys, if anyone asks you, give me your phone number. What's your phone number? Imagine you went for one interview. You met with one special friend. Because in interview time you met with one special friend and she asked that give me your mobile number. Then what do you say? Sir, this is my normal number, this is my WhatsApp number, this is my personal number. People are maintaining right now only one contact number or more than one contact numbers. Remember guys, only one contact number or more than one contact numbers. Dual SIM comes, triple SIMs comes, China sets, 4 SIMs also available. One for resume purpose, interview purpose, one purpose parents purpose, one for purpose is parents, friends, and the one is special friends. For the sake of special friends and resumes. Wow, very good, maintain. So here, so one number, comma, second number, more than one value. Observe here guys, sometimes if I ask employee ID, sir, my employee ID is, what is your employee ID? Ask what is your employee ID? My employee ID 11122 is my employee ID. What is your Aadhaar card number? How many Aadhaar card numbers do you have guys? Only one number or else multiple Aadhaar card numbers are available? Aadhaar card number, voter card number, only one. Means whenever you observe the data, observe guys, whenever you observe the data, sometimes what happened, sometimes we have individual data, single data, right? Sometimes we have group of data, right? So if your requirement is, remember guys, if your requirement is, if you want to handle individual data, means single value data, if you want to handle single value data, in that scenario, go for what guys? Primitive data types. In that scenario, go for what? Primitive data types is sufficient guys. If your requirement is what? Single values, individual values. If your requirement is individual values, in that scenario, go for, so primitive data types are enough. But if your requirement is group of data, then we have reference data type is available. We have to use what guys? Reference data type. In that scenario, we have to use what guys? Reference data type. We have to go for what? Reference data type. What are the reference data type we have? In the sense, we have a reference data called, observe guys, interface. First one, array, class, interface enum. These are called as in what guys? Arrays, array, class, interface enum. Arrays, class, okay, arrays, classes, I'll simply you can say class, interface enum. These are called as what guys? Your reference data types. So when to go for reference data types, if your requirement is, if you want to work with multiple values, if you want to work with multiple values, in that scenario, go for what? Reference data types. Guys, reference data types. If your requirement is what guys? Only one value, then primitive data types are enough. If your requirement is only one value, then primitive data type is enough. If your requirement is more than one value, then go for what guys? Yes, your reference data types. That's it. Observe guys, your data types. In Java, data types are classified into how many types? Two types. One is called primitive data type, and the one is called reference data types. One is called primitive data types, and the one is called reference data types. If your requirement is only seeing individual values communication, or go for primitive data types. Group of values, go for reference. Guys, first we will observe primitive data type. We will work programs on primitive data types only. Once if it is done, then we will move on to where your reference data types. First we will move on. First we will work on what? Primitive data types. Once if it is done, then we will work on reference data types. Okay. Yes, fine, good. Here Here, in this primitive data types, observe guys, in this primitive data types, the first four primitive data types are used to store. Observe the first four primitive data types are used to store what type of values? The first four primitive data types are used to store what type of values, in the sense integer type data. Already we discussed integer literals. Observe guys, literals concept. Observe. Remember literals concept. If you have integer literals, if you want to store integer literals, then we are going to use what guys? First four, by short, int, long. These four are used to handle. These four are used to handle integer type data. If you have any integer type data now, based on the data, we have to use. Sometimes we are using byte, sometimes we are using short, sometimes we are using int, sometimes we are using long guys. Sometimes we are using long. So what is the difference between byte to short, int, long? Why these many? I will explain, don't worry, just wait. I'll show you on table, then I will explain, don't worry, wait. So if your requirement is, if you want to store integer type data, then you can use any one. The default one is, remember guys, the default one is, what is the default one? The default one is int is the default one. Observe guys, by default data type is int is the default data type guys. Int is the default data type for integer type values. Int is the default data type for integer type values. Fine, good. Now coming to float and double. Next category is what guys? Float to double, right? These two. Sir, what is the purpose of float double? Guys, we have floating literals are available, right? Remember floating literals? If you have floating literals, in order to store floating type of values in that scenario, we can use what guys? Either float or double. Anyone we can use in order to work with what floating type of values. In order to work with floating type of values, we can use either float or double. What is the default? Java, by default, Java, which data type accepted in the sense? By default, Java will accept, yes, by default, Java will accept double as the default data type. Double is the default data type. Remember guys, double is the default data type. For integer, what is the default data type? Integer, int is the default data type. Int is the default data type. Float for the floating values, double is the default data type. And of course, we have character type char, boolean type boolean values. Character type char, for boolean type of values, we have boolean type of data is available. Clear guys? So now when to go for, now when to go for bytes, or when to go for short, when to go for int, when to go for long, float, double, char, boolean, when to go for which one, when to go for which one, let us observe. Okay, let us observe. For example guys, data in the sense, we have different type of data will come, right? We have different data type of data will come, right? Now for example, let us consider integer type data. Let us consider integer type data. In integer itself, in integer itself, okay, in integer itself, let us observe integer itself. For example, I mentioned what, yeah, my requirement is age. Guys, if your requirement is age, that's maximum how many years guys age means? So minimum 1, maximum 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, right? 110 comes a great, 120 comes a book of the Limca, I mean Limca book of records. 120 crossed, so great. Let's observe if any application forms, especially age columns, they mention maximum 100. They never mention more than 100 guys. If your requirement is, remember if your requirement is, so go for what? Byte data type. When to go for byte data type in the sense, if you want to store, I will mention like this, just a minute. Yes, if your requirement is what guys? Minus 128 to 127. Minus 128 to 127. If you want to store the values within the range of, remember, if you want to store the values within the range of minus 128 to 127, if is it your requirement, then go for what? Byte data type. Then go for what? Byte data type. If your requirement is, remember guys, if your requirement is minus your data is what? Minus 128 to 127, minus 128 to 127, then go for what data type? Byte data type. Then go for what? Byte data type. Fine. Yes, good. And if you specify byte data type, remember guys, if you specify byte data type, how much memory is occupied in the sense? Remember how much memory it is occupied? Guys, everyone observe. If you specify byte data type, your JVM will execute your program, guys. JVM, what it will do, it will allot the memory, guys. How much memory it is allotted in the sense, 1 byte of memory it is allocated. 1 byte of memory it is allocated. For byte, 1 byte of memory it is allocated. Sir, I have more than that value. I have more than that value. Okay, if we have more than that value, then go for what? Short data type. If we specify short data type, then we can store the values within the range of minus 32,768 to 32,767. This is the range which we can store, guys. Minus 32,768 to 32,767. This is the range which we can store. How much memory it occupies, sir? 2 bytes of memory it will occupy. 2 bytes of memory it will occupy. For which one? Short data type. No, sir. My requirement is more than that data type. Yes, then go for int. We have a data type called int. If you specify integer data type, then we can store the values within the range of minus. Observe, guys. If you specify integer range values, then we can store the values minus 214748364 So this is the range, guys. Minus 214748364 to 214748364 This is the range we can store the values. This is the range we can store the values. How much memory is required, sir? How much memory is required in the sense 4 bytes of memory is required in order to store integer type values. In order to store integer type values, yes, we need what? This is the thing we need. Of course, finally we have what, guys? Long data type is available, right? Long data type, more than the value. How much memory is required? 8 bytes of memory is required. 8 bytes of memory is required. Observe, guys. I'll show you one table, guys. Just observe how much memory it is required. Have a look so that you will get the clarity. This is a table, guys. This is the table, guys. Observe, everyone. So memory size, how much, guys? Memory size is always in bytes. Memory size is always in bytes. Okay, if you specify byte, it will occupy 1 byte of memory. Short JVM is allotted 2 bytes of memory. Integer 4 bytes. Long 8 bytes. For float 4 bytes. Double 8 bytes of memory. Character 2 bytes. For boolean, only for boolean it is JVM dependent, guys. Only for boolean it is JVM dependent. So it is not there in your hands, guys. It is not there in your hands, guys. Okay, it is not there in our hands. So if your requirement is what type of data you are going to store, that is important, guys. What type of data you are going to store? So I want to store age. Age means what? Small values are enough, right? Maximum 50, 100, 70, 20, 30, this type. Then go for byte. I want to store employee ID. Employee ID means what? 100, 200, 500, 600. Sometimes in company, 1000 employees are available. In some company, 2000 employees are available. Then go for what? Short type of data type. It's all about your requirement. Based on the application requirement, think what type of data will come, decide. Based on that, what type of data will come, decide. Based on that, use the data type, guys. Guys, what is the default data type for integer values? What is the default data type for integer values? Already I explained the tokens concept. Once again, what is the default value for integer type values? Everyone. Very good. Int. What is the default data type for? I'm asking default data type, right? And what is the default data type for floating point values? What is the default value for default data type for floating? Default data type for floating values? Yes. Double. Good. And then, guys, observe, guys, then, now observe then, guys, everyone observe. Int is a type of any out of these four you can use any one. So double type of out of these two you can use any one. So are boolean based on single character data. If you have single character data, then go for char data type. So no sir, I want to store either true or false. I want to store either true or false. Then go for boolean type. Guys, everyone once go through this diagram. Guys, everyone go through this diagram. 2 minutes time for everyone. 2 minutes time. Once go through this diagram. 2 minutes time. Now I will ask questions regarding to this diagram. Now time is 4:41. Now 4:43. At 4:43, I will ask the questions, guys. By calling the names. Whatever the name I'm calling, those people only respond. Other people not respond. If you know the answer, you yourself give the answers, not in the chat box. Okay, everyone, go with the diagram. Everyone, go with the diagram. Everyone, go with the diagram. Take 2 minutes time. Everyone, guys. Guys, in floating value, C means exponential values. Don't think that. So don't forget about this. Guys, I never asked this 1.4 e minus 45. This e is called exponential value. Don't worry. Remember below 7 digits after decimal, 15 digits after decimal, because that above value is difficult to remember. So forget about after decimal. After decimal, how many values you can store? 7 digits if you specify float. If we specify double, how many digits we can store? 15 digits. What is the default value? Space for character. Here false is the default value. Check this diagram, guys. Take 2 minutes time for everyone. Guys, long range is minus 2 power 63 to 2 power 63 minus 1. Don't worry, guys. I never ask integer range, long range, guys. Just remember byte range. Just remember what are the data types? Memory size, data types, memory size, and the range of byte is short enough. These one is not required. No one will ask you, in no interview will ask you, guys. Don't worry. Data types, what is the how much memory is required for each and every data type, and what is the range of byte short enough for me. Enough for me, guys. Data types, memory size, and how much what is the range for byte short. Take 2 minutes time. Nothing will happen. Take, revise. Hema, all ranges are not required. Just remember what? First two, 128 to 127. Byte short is enough. All are not required. Yes, everyone revise. Everyone revise. Guys, everyone take in your book. Everyone take in your book. what is the memory size, what is the range we discussed, right? This data I want to store, sir. If you want to store this data, we need memory location. For that purpose we have what? We have a concept called variables. We have a concept called variables. What is the purpose of variables? In the sense, guys, observe, data types will classify the data. Remember, data types will classify the data. But what is my requirement? Sir, I want to store the data. Data types will classify the data. Remember, guys, data types, what it will do? Data types will classify the data, but it never stored the data, right? If you want to store the data, we need memory location. If you want to store the data, we need what? Memory location. If you want to store the data, yes, we need memory location. That memory location is nothing but variable, guys. What is a variable, sir? Simply we can say that a variable is nothing but a, simply we can say that what? A variable is nothing but a variable. Variable is nothing but named memory location. Variable is nothing but named memory location. What is the purpose? Variables are used to store data. That's it. Variables are used to store data, guys. Variables are nothing but named memory location. Named memory location. Remember, guys. Variables are nothing but named memory locations which are used to store data. If you want to store any data, then we have to use what? Your variables. What is the basic syntax or how to declare the variables? Observe, guys, whenever we go for variables, we have three things will come: declaration, initialization, and assignment. These are the three words which come, guys. What are the three words, guys? Variable declaration, variable initialization, variable assignment. Now let's observe variable declaration. How to declare variable? Our first task is what? First, what you have to focus? How to declare variables. How to declare variables? Observe the basic syntax. How to declare variables? The basic syntax is, everyone, guys. The basic syntax is data type space variable name semicolon. Data type space variable name semicolon. For example, I want to store integer type values. Guys, if you want to store integer type values, how many types of data types we have? If your requirement is integer type data, 4. So as a programmer, we have to decide, what type of values will come. Based on that, decide byte is required, short required, int required, so or else long required. What type of data will come, decide and use it. I'm taking default, guys. I'm taking default. What? Sir, int employee ID. Int employee ID. Fine, good. Int employee ID. Guys, salary or as petrol cost. Petrol cost is what? Floating point, right? So declare the variable double petrol cost. Double petrol cost. Remember, guys, in the same way, char gender semicolon data type space variable name. Data type space variable name. Data type space variable name. Someone video is on, guys. Stop the video. Someone video is on. Stop the video. Who's that? Lavanya, stop the video. Good, nice. So here, whenever you specify int EID, then what will happen? EID is your variable name. EID is your variable name. Guys, EID is what data type? EID is what data type? Integer, right? Integer needs how much memory? Integer needs how much memory? 4 bits or bytes are? Clarity. 4 bits or bytes are? So your JVM, what it will see, based on your declaration, it checks, oh, int area. Okay, int means 4 bytes required. It is allotted 4 bytes of memory. It is allotted 4 bytes of memory. For that 4 bytes of memory, one name given, the name is called EID. Double product cost or petrol cost, whatever it may be. Guys, P cost is a variable name. The data type is double. Double means how much memory is required for double? Yes, 8 bytes, right? Now you can take 8 bytes. It is allotted 8 bytes. 8 bytes of memory is allotted. Gender. Now gender. Guys, observe here I am taking the names. Gender. Gender is what type? Char type, right? Char means how much memory is required? For char, how much memory is required? 2 bytes. Very good, guys. Char means 2 bytes. So it is allotted 2 bytes of memory. Like internally based on your type of data, it is allotted memory, guys. It is allotted memory. Do you have any value inside of this values, inside of your variable? Remember, guys, check. Do you have any values? By default, no values. It never store any values by default. What you did, you are just declaring variables. You are just declaring variables. Guys, here, sir, you taken EID, P, cost, gender. Guys, in the last class, we discussed the rules for identifiers. Remember, everyone, the rules to declare identifiers. We have, how many rules are there to declare identifiers? Good. Boy, who's Dattatreya? How 5 rules comes? Only 4, right? 5th rule, where comes? Only 4 rules, right? All 4 rules applicable here. All 4 rules applicable here. Okay. But remember, guys, sir, capital letter, small letter, am I able to take anything? You can take anything, guys. But in software company, what we have to do? Always we have to take small case. Small case only we have to take. Variable names are small letters, fixed, guys. Variable names are always go and take small letters. Okay, don't go for capital letters. Constants are there, final keyword constants are there, right? Then go for capital letters. Fine, guys, understood this one? How to declare? Here empty, nothing is there, no value, nothing. Up to now I didn't give any value. This is called what? Variable declaration. This is called what? Variable declaration. Now, sir, there is no value. If I want to initialize the value, my requirement is what? I want to initialize the value. Oh, fine. Your requirement is initialization. Fine, good. So if your requirement is initialization, then we have to go for another syntax. What is the syntax? Observe. Guys, observe here. One more thing. Here at a time, how many variables to declare? Only one variable, right? We have one more syntax is available. Declaration time. We have one more syntax. Syntax 2. What is that? We can use We can declare like this. Data type, variable name, variable 1, comma, variable 2, comma, so on. We can declare more than one variable at a time, guys. We can declare what? More than one variable at a time. That is also possible, guys. We can declare more than one variable at a time. That is also possible. For example, I have a variable like this. What? Int A, int A, int B, int C. Now, total how many variables I have, guys? Totally how many variables I have? 3 variables. All are same type or different type? All are same type or different type? So that instead of writing 3 lines, what we can do, guys, observe, instead of writing 3 lines, what we can do, simply we can write int A comma B comma C, all at within a single line we can specify, because all A, B, C, all 3 are belongs to integer type. That's why we can write like this. For example, I have variable called int P semicolon, double Q semicolon, char R semicolon. Guys, these all 3 I want to write within a single line. These all 3 I want to write within a single line. Is it possible? These all 3 I want to write within a single line. Is it possible? Not at all possible. The reason is what? Sir, different data types, sir. Different data types we can't mention. If same data type is available, then only we can write within a single line. Otherwise, we cannot write within a single line. Remember. So up to now, what we observe, guys, we're just observing what everyone check, guys. We're just checking what, how to declare the variables. Up to now, I'm not giving any values to variables, right? We're not mentioning any values to variables. So if you want to give values to variables, so that procedure is called as, and technically that is called as in what? Initialization. Remember, guys, first one is a declaration, second one is initialization. How to initialize the values? Everyone observe, guys. If you want to initialize, guys, everyone take the running notes. Second one is initialization. How to initialize the values? Yes, fine, observe. We can initialize values to variables by using which operator? Assignment operator. We can initialize values to variables. By using assignment operator, which is called as an equal to. We can initialize values to variables by using assignment operator. Assignment operator means what? Equal to symbol. Assignment operator means what? Equal to symbol. By using assignment operator, yes, we can initialize the values. So your assignment operator is called as right to left operator. Remember guys, assignment operator is also called as what? Right to left operator. So right side data which will store into left side. Observe the basic syntax guys. The basic syntax is what? Variable equal to value. Variable equal to value. Remember, for assignment operator, this is called what? This is called what? Right side. This is called what guys? This is called your right side. And here this is called what guys? Left side. Always observe guys, assignment operator is also called as in right to left. This is left side. Always remember guys, the right side value, whatever the value we have, the right side value it will store into left side. But remember one point guys, what is that point? The variable, first of all we should declare the variable, then only initialization is possible. Without declaration, initialization is not possible. Without declaration, initialization is not at all possible. Don't forget that point guys. Without declaration, initialization is not at all possible. Fine. Okay. Always observe guys, variable equal to value. Of course, every line ends with what is semicolon, right? Here we can mention what? Semicolon. Here we can mention semicolon. So right side value will store into left side variable. Observe the example guys. For example, I mentioned what? Int a comma int a I mentioned. Double b I mentioned guys. Now or else only one variable take. Observe the example once guys. Int age I mentioned semicolon. Fine, good. Int age I mentioned semicolon. Fine, good. Okay. Now already age is declared, right? Now for age I want to assign value. So age equal to 26 semicolon. Age equal to 26 semicolon. Someone video is on, stop video guys. Once again I'm repeating, stop video. So what happened? Sir, age is what type of data type guys? Integer type data type. How much memory is allocated for age? How much memory is allocated for age? Very good. 4 bytes of memory is allocated. 4 bytes of memory. Now initially do you have any value? Initially do you have any value? So this will happen. This will happen at initially. Variable is allocated and 20 means this will happen initially. Nothing, no value, nothing. Second, what you mentioned, a is equal 26, right? When you specify a is equal 26, then inside of age, what is the value? Because of second line, in this age, the value 26 will loaded. In this age, the value 26. How much the value? 26 the value, right? The 26 value will store into variable. The 26 value will store into your variable. That's it, guys. So first, whenever you declare variable, then what happened? Memory is allocated. Whenever memory is allocated, by default it doesn't store any value. So whenever you initialize, guys, first time you are giving value, second time you are giving value. Here 26 is the first time giving, second time giving value. Everyone, first time you are giving value, right? A is empty. First time value comes and store into your A is, right? The first time value comes and store into your A is. That's why it is called as an initialization. First time value comes, then it is called as an initialization. That's it. Vinayak, there is no default values concept here. The default value concept is in another place. I'll inform at that time. Initially, that's why am I right? Any value, guys, initially whenever you declaration time, initially, do you have any values? Observe the diagram, memory diagram. Do we have any default values? Do we have any default values? There is no default values at all. By default, we don't have any default values. That concept, the scenario is different, guys. I'll explain. Those type of variables are called as instance variables. At the time, I will discuss. At present, variables, nothing, no value, empty block. Whenever you assign 26, or 26 value comes. In the same way, I am declaring a variable called int. I'm declaring one variable called int a equal to, so int a, I'm declaring int a, and I'm writing a equal to 5.2. A equal to 5.2. Guys, is it valid or invalid? Is it valid or invalid? Yes, obviously. Int a means, sir, a is a memory location. How much memory it is allotted? 4 bytes of memory is allotted. 4 bytes of memory is allotted. Fine, good. Because of int a, remember guys, because of int a, 4 bytes of memory it is allotted. Very good. 4 bytes of memory is allotted. Fine, good. So 4 bytes. Now you are trying to assign which value? 5.2. You are trying to assign which value? 5.2. Guys, 5.2 integer value or double value? 5.2 is integer or double value? In Java, by default, if you mention any floating, it will consider as a double value. What is the size of double? What is the size of double? 8 bytes. Here, how much memory you have? A contain how much memory? A contain 4 bytes of memory, but you are trying to store 5.2 means 8 bytes of data. How it is possible, guys? Not possible, right? So that we are going to get error message. So here we are going to get error message. Simple, remember guys, integer means integer data only accepted. Double means if data type is double, then it will accept both integer as well as double type data. So that's why we have to decide what type of data we have to specify. Specify the data type, then store the values. And I have variable char. I have variable called char gender. Now I can write what? Gender equal to a single characters are enclosed within a single quotation. Female. Gender equal to single quotation F. Gender equal to single quotation F. What do we have to write, guys? Gender equal to single quotation F. Single quotation F means because if it is a character, right? Character values we have to enclose within a single quotation. Character values we have to enclose within a single quotation. That's it. Like we have to write, guys. We have to initialize the values. Declaration and initialization. And it is possible. And remember one point, note point, guys, everyone. What is the note point? We can declare and initialize variables at a time. We can declare and initialize variables at a time. That is also possible. We can declare and initialize variables at a time. That is also possible, guys. We can declare and initialize variables at a time. That is also possible. Sir, how, sir? Means what we have to do? The syntax is data type variable name equal to value semicolon. Declaration come initialization, guys. At a time, both we can do what? Declaration come initialization, both we can do at a time. Declaration come initialization, both we can do at a time. Means, yes, we can write int a equal to 20, double cost equal to 250 rupees, char grade equal to A grade. Like we can declare. Observe here, declaration come initialization. Declaration come initialization. That is also possible, guys. This is also possible, right?